Hello everybody, Frankie Day here again on YouTube here. Frankie Day Models. Okay fellas, this is video 2 for Friday night. I have for you a gift from Freddy. An SB2C Helldiver. Monogram Pro Series, 148 scale. Uh, for those that weren't tuning in on the last video I had, Mr. Freddy Duarte sent me a 148 scale Pro Model Series SB2C-1 Helldiver. The OSOB second class. A lot about this aircraft I do know about. I know where the prototype came from, and we'll discuss it before we take a look at the model. Thus far, I got on the thing. I got the thing almost assembled. Right now, it needs to be. I've already got some filler on it. I sanded the filler off it, except with the on top of the wing roots. Now, this is how much I got done on this far, guys. This is video number 2. On video number 1, I believe I had the fuselage together, and I got interior green painted all inside the fuselage there, and I gave it a wash. And also radio boxes, and also the dial facings were also painted out too, and a little gloss on there to represent glass. And I've already sanded a little filler right here on the nose section here, and also on the bottom section of the fuselage. Just a little filler here, not very much, a little bit. This thing had a little bit of fit issues to it, not very much. The parts seem like me, they're kind of like they're a little warped. That could have been maybe temperature in the hot, humidity, or something. But I used a red hot water over this thing, and I kind of got it back like I wanted, like it's supposed to. So I got the warps out of it. Most of the warps was in the fuselage. That's why I had filler, because I remember on the last one I did, I didn't use all filler on the kit at all. It's because it was a brand new kit. This is a 90s kit. This came out probably what, 92, 93, 94. I'd say probably mid 90s, 95, 96 at least. This came out. I don't know. It's probably a stamp on here which tells you one. I don't know. I remember this is a 90s job. This is a second kit that Monogram released. Now, those of the guys of my generation remember back in 1962, Monogram made the first quarter-inch Helldiver. And it was very inaccurate in a lot of ways. Now, you take a look at the early Monogram one and compare it with this one here. On the Monogram one is that the wings were not wide. They're too narrow. They came out all like this. Too narrow. Very narrow. They didn't have a very wide wing like I showed you on here, like the way it's supposed to. So there's a lot of inaccuracy. Also the tail here too. A lot of inaccuracies to it. But it was a Helldiver at the time. And the funny thing about it is, when I first got that kit back in 1962, I knew that thing wasn't very accurate because of the wings. Because I seen these back in the 50s. And they were using these things as drones and everything. I remember down at China Lake, they were using them down there. I was a little small boy back in those days. But anyway, this is a Pro Modeler 148 scale Helldiver, and Mr. Freddy Duarte sent me this kit. And as a gift, and God love him. Freddy always sends me things, and he's a wonderful person, very generous. He's a great guy. I tell you, I wish I lived next door to him or lived in his vicinity. We have a chit chat and sell and share model memoranda and everything else goes with it. Okay, well, it's Helldiver. This is supposed to be an SB2C-4, the final the model of the Helldiver. This is going to be an SB2C-1, the first one. Instead of swinging a 4-bladed Curtis electric prop, it's going to be swinging a 3-blade Hamilton standard prop. Freddy sent me, I got two, excuse me, I got two photo etch aftermarket die brake kits that fit this model. The original ones that came from Monogram, Freddy said he lost, and he gave me another set. I think it's, I don't know who makes it though. I think it's Eddard. Eddard makes it, yes, Eddard. And so Eddard, and the other ones are Eddard too, I believe. And so anyway, it had perforated dive brakes on the Helldiver. Joining the wings of the fuselage presented a little problem right there. I had to put a little bit of sheet plastic in there. And I got it shaved off even with the wing. So just make sure it needs to be seen. I'll put a little bit of filler. So I'm going to let this dry overnight, and tomorrow I'll sand this off and start priming the same. Now, get back to the dive brakes. The SBC 4 models, they had the perforated dive brakes. Now, on this one I'm making is the SB2C-1. It did not have perforated dive brakes. The dive brakes they give you that comes with the one model, the first model, are like flaps. Excuse me, guys. They perforated. They're just like landing flaps. And instead of having the Curtis 4-bladed electric prop they used, it used the Hamilton standard instead, the 3-bladed prop. These things came out late of 1942. I say probably, I would say late 1942. It came out probably around May of 1942. These were the second model built by Glenn Curtis. The original one, of course, we all know, had another wing on top of there, and the landing gear was hand cranked from the side, and it's folded up just like the F3F did. Well, what they did, they redesigned the whole airplane and made it as this model right here. Now, with the SB2C Helldiver, they had a lot of problems with the thing. Being a new airplane. During the event of war, when we first got into the war, we didn't have very much of nothing. The Army Air Corps had a little bit of nothing. They had just a very small handful of what they used at the time which was a mainstay throughout the war, which proved very successful, was the B-17 and the B-25. That was ready to go to war. We had other stuff too, like the Maryland, the Hudson, and the Baltimore bombers, but those bombers there we couldn't use those what we needed for. So during the Lend-Lease program, we shipped them across the pond to the United Kingdom, and they kept them to coastal command duties and such. Left us hardly with nothing. And of course, as the war progressed, more bombers came out. The same thing with the Navy. We only had a small handful of aircraft too. At that time, availability for war, we had the F-2A Brewster Buffalo. We had the TBF. Excuse me, guys, I'm very sorry. My apologies. The TBD, Devastator, the F-4F Wildcat, and the SPD Dauntless. That's all we had. The F-2A Brewster Buffalo was fruitless. They couldn't use it. It was effortless. Although it was the world's first model Ahoy aircraft, all-metal airplane, it had a lot of problems with it too, like the Helldiver. Underpowered, undercarriage problems, stalling problems, and airplane was obsolete. By the entry of war, the aircraft was rendered obsolete. So they no longer use that. So again, they shipped them across the pond, and the English used them as Clevelands, and the Finnish used them too. The Finns, so they used them a lot too. They're very their techniques. They were very welcome slice for them. They loved those little buffaloes. They shot down a lot of Jerry's and those things. But the SB2C Helldiver came out in May of 1942. A lot of the problems with it was they're very underpowered. They had a right cyclone engine, and the horsepower to those things to it was very, very low. Well, they had, see, the problem is it was underpowered, and the prop was too small. It had a Hamilton standard prop. When the airplane was tested, it was tested on a land-based operation only for a conventional takeoff, as all airplanes do, by thrust. Although it was a carrier-based airplane designed to get off deck of an aircraft carrier. But being a land base on an aircraft carrier, using an aircraft carrier for training is a little different than the ship was pitching at sea. But these things were underpowered. And a lot of pilots didn't want to fly them. They had a lot of problems with them. They had a lot of the jack mounts that goes to the shimmies to the tail wheel. They'd bust off every time the airplane was coming for a landing on the carrier deck. Sometimes the undercarriage would fold up on them. Most of the problems is that they were just underpowered. And they're a brand new airplane. The bugs weren't worked out yet in them. I mean, a lot of these aircraft manufacturers, they were starving for information, some feedback, find out, is there anything we do to make this airplane better for you to work? And they wouldn't know unless they got these negative feedback reports coming in. And that's when Mr. Curtis came in. He found out this is getting all the negative feedback on the Helldiver, so we got to do something. This airplane's got a lot of capabilities, but I think I know what the problem is. So they changed it. I think they changed it to 2,800 horsepower because I think it had 1,400 horsepower from before. It's a right cyclone, so they put double rows on there. Made the cowling a little bigger. This one here is the first model, the SB2C-1. And of course, we get the four-bladed curved selector prop. They gave the extra pitch too, so they had no problem with them. Now, with this here, what Freddy gave me here, instead of using the kit's perforated flaps, I'm going to go ahead and use these flaps I just showed you right here a moment ago. These photo etch flaps. These flaps will go to the SB2C-1, which is this one here I'm remodeling. The reason is they went to perforated flaps because they had too much drag in them. That's another problem that caused them a lot of problems and them things fouling into the sea. The Helldiver did. You see a lot of them on these. You see a lot of these in movies, you know, and also on TV footage. You can see them getting on deck of a carrier, and all of a sudden you can see them low in the water and they start going down, and trying to get up and go down. The first thing they start fouling and come over. The flaps they had were not designed for being a dive bomber. They were more or less regular Fowler flaps. And those flaps created too much drag for the Helldiver. That's one reason why it kept on being underpowered, because we all know aboard an aircraft carrier you got to have your flaps down and full throttle as much as you can. And when the flagman releases you, you just hunt for heaven. Well, the Helldiver is the same way, but like I say, those flaps were not perforated. They created a lot of drag. So a lot of modifications are done to make it a better airplane. And once all these things were done and achieved, these things were the greatest airplanes in the world. Pilots loved them. They sunk a lot of tonnage, these dive bombers, these Helldiver did. And it's one heck of an airplane. They can carry more than a Dauntless can. They can carry 400 or 500 pound bombs. These things were like Sky Raiders of the day. And they're so good, the French used them during Vietnam back in 1954. I seen them use the air shows all the time. You had a couple of guys that they're actually that piloted these back in the war. I remember was out there at the what was that? It was an air show at Albuquerque, New Mexico. There was an Air Force base out there. Dovfield? No, I know. No, that's in Texas. Anyways, it was in New Mexico, and they had one of these Helldivers out there. Guy took it up. Boy, you can see him just whistling down straight and pull right back up. They're a nice airplane. That's a good kit, guys. This thing is old, you know. It's they got better ones out there. They got another one that makes a 1/32 scale one. I forget what company makes that. That's probably a multimedia kit, but this is one of the 90s kits by Monogram made, the Pro Modeler series. Comes with photo etch parts and detail by scale by Bert Kensley. I guess he's the one that more or less gets all the information, and so they can be able to produce this wonderful airplane. And so this is a gift from Freddy. I really appreciate it very much, Freddy, for this beautiful Helldiver. So I'll probably be getting this thing painted pretty soon too. I got the flaps. Came in. Freddie sent me the flaps and the three-bladed Hamilton standard prop, and it came in yesterday in the mail. And so I got to get a hold of Freddie and tell him they came in, and he'd be happy and relieved knowing they came here. So this is going to be the SB2C-1. So if I have another video on its primary colors and finish up with the final reveal and hang her up. This is a wonderful airplane, guys. It sure is. The big tail beast, they call her. The beast. Okay, well, Frankie Day's getting tired. I had a big day today at work. We got a lot of people coming in at my job, and March is coming in like a lamb. And I think we're going to have a beautiful spring coming up. And we got a lot of people. I noticed a lot of people are getting out of the house, not going out and doing things. You know, being ball and chained down in the house is not very healthy, physically and spiritually and mentally. You know, I mean, you just this virus has got the whole world spinning, and people are starting to get vaccinated for it, and people all of a sudden people start getting herd immune, and pretty soon you get immune to it, and it'll go away. Just pray to God nothing else comes out of it. Okay, guys, that's all shaking for the night. Frankie Day's getting kind of tired, and this is it for the gift from Freddy on the Helldiver. Video number 2. Video number 3, I should have it painted up pretty well, and video 4, of course, will be the final reveal. That'll be the other one I have finished. I got the C-54 Skymaster on my group build, the Berlin Airlift group build. And I'm going to finish up my second entry for Rob, the Basic Modeling's Recon group build. I just finished, I just made a video a while ago on the Nimrod for Rob, the Basic Modeling's Recon group build. And I posted some pictures also on the Vacuum Form Facebook modeling page. And so be sure to go there and check that out. And I haven't been there yet, so I probably got 1,000,001 comments on it already. I don't know. But so I'm a pretty busy beaver, guys. Work on these models every day. I work on these things every day. Every day I work on them. Piddle here, piddle there, here, there, everywhere. Pretty soon we get done. And I'm done right now. Okay, this is it for the video number 2 for the Helldiver, a gift from Freddy. thank you very much, Freddie. Bless your heart. And God love you, sir. Okay, make mama happy. Take care of the little ones. And wear a mask all the time when you're out in public. Be aware of your surroundings. Stay focused when you drive. Spend wisely. And please be careful out there. Be aware of your surroundings. This stuff's going to go away like a fart in the wind. And like I said a while ago, everybody getting vaccinated and everything like that, this virus is going to be gone. We got a nip in the bud, and life will eventually come back to itself like the way it's supposed to. Let's hope so, guys. You know, it's been a black cloud in the world now for over a year, and we need to have some cheering up. Okay, I'm out of here, and next video will be number... It'll be on the Emily flying boat. Oh yes, the albatross. I can't forget that. So it'll be the Emily. I have that Emily coming to you. Get that done. And I got the albatross going. I got the Skymaster from my Berlin Airlift group. So I got a lot of stuff coming your way, fellas. So this is Frankie Day signing up Frankie Day Models. God bless you guys. Please subscribe. And thank you very much for your wonderful, wonderful comments and your candor. I'm very, very honored for each one of you guys. God love you, fellas. And please be safe. Get kit crazy. Buy yourself a model and enjoy life. And it's Frankie Day signing off from Frankie Day Models. Bye, boys.